In the beginning, when the madness was setting in and Metacore was assuring me that it will stay on Tumblr, I remember how the CEO of Starbucks Corporation was a genuine believer. He actually did try to make a change, and one of his glorious initiatives was to tell the barista to have a conversation with people about race. I'm not making this up. I know that I need to say it because it sounds crazy. Like you're in the morning, barely able to see, wanting to enjoy your soy latte before you go to the corporation to sit in that open office, and they want to talk to you about race. Of course, many of the far right at the time on Twitter were ecstatic to talk about race with the barista. But unfortunately, the rest of the customers weren't. The reason that I'm mentioning this is that you will notice that activists go for the weak link. Like when they tried to harass people for playing the wizard game, they went for the female VTubers. They didn't go for the more stronger, the more Tsuyoi characters. And this is what happened here. They noticed that this corporation is weak, and immediately the scandal appeared. It was two gentlemen which decided to sit at a Starbucks, and they were confronted by the owner, and they said, well, are you going to order something? And they went like a horse that's high on ivermectin and said, yeah. And because of that, they committed the crime of trespassing. Like, even though it's a public business, the moment you're asked to leave, if you go like the horse that's high on ivermectin, yeah, well, you're committing a crime. So they called the cops, which apparently you're not supposed to do in the United States of America. Like when you call the cops, you need to look at who the parents of the individual are, analyze the racial characteristics, the racial traits, and only then can you call the cops. In this situation, it was not allowed, even if they actually committed the crime. It was a big scandal. I remember the Young Turks, like Cenk Uygur, went like, outrageous, you know, like that. That's pretty much how I remembered it. Probably how it happened, but media uproar, moral panic. Oh my god, they didn't do anything. They didn't do anything, and the cops were called. Meanwhile, in Germany, literally the same month, there were a couple of tourists from the United Kingdom, also part of the same racial characteristic and heritage. And they went to a KFC, and they decided to make a scene by shouting at each other. The cops immediately came, asked them for their papers, started looking into things. No moral panic, though. Nothing, you know? I guess like a different country where things are going in a different way. But in America, oh, completely different situation. So, not only did the media start protesting, you also had Starbucks taking an initiative, and they spent a lot of money, like hundreds of thousands of dollars, to shut down all of the Starbucks for a couple of days in order to provide reindoctrination training for their employees to teach them about progressive values. And then when they opened again, they also said that anyone can come in for whatever reason, even if you don't buy, right? Like they started referring to people that don't buy as customers. A very, very fascinating, progressive take on the word. And of course, this caused a lot of homeless people to take advantage of the situation. And if you went on Reddit at the time, you would see a lot of employees from Starbucks saying that they're going to resign because the bathrooms were filled with heroin needles. They were afraid for their safety because cleaning them, the bathrooms was very hazardous. You know, you get stung once and then God knows what you can get. So that was a very interesting thing. And after a while, the CEO of Starbucks comes up and condemns the democratic policies because he says he can't operate a business when people keep looting and vandalizing the stores. You know, like all of a sudden he stopped being so progressive. But it was an interesting journey nonetheless. I loved watching how all the events unfolded. Now, recently, they're going to have to pay some money. Won't go broke. Apparently, the lady that was fired, the manager, is going to have to be awarded $25.6 million because she was fired due to her race. No, at Progressive Starbucks, oh, Dios mío, Shannon Phillips won $600,000 in compensation damages and another $25 million in punitive damages after a jury in New Jersey found that race was a determinant factor in her firing. I mean, it makes sense, you know, like if it was a black lady that would tell some people, hey, buy something or get out, would it even be in the news? It's like no one would have cared. Because it's common freaking sense. You know, even I, when I'm going somewhere, like let's say I go to a Starbucks and I want to use the bathroom, right? I purchase some, you purchase a pretzel, you know, it's like... But again, like, I do believe that those people were activists knowing exactly what they were doing, and this is what they got. Like, how else did the media pop up immediately? So apparently, in 2018, a Philadelphia store manager called the cops on two black men who were sitting in the coffee shop without ordering anything. Phillips, the regional manager at operations in Philly, Southern New Jersey, and elsewhere, was not involved with the arrests, but lost her job nevertheless. Apparently, because she objected to another white manager being placed on leave amid the uproar, according to her lawsuit. The company's rationale for suspending the district manager, who was responsible for the store where the arrest took place, was an allegation that black store managers were being paid less than the white managers. However, she... apparently, as she mentions, had absolutely nothing to do with the way the wages go. Like, as the regional manager, she did not get to decide the wages for the people that work there, right? So this is why companies are very vague when they do the firings. This is why they refuse to say, because the moment they open their mouth, and you know it's full of shit, you can actually sue them and win. During closing arguments, Ms. Phillips told the jurors that the company was looking for a sacrificial lamb to calm the outrage and show that it is taking action. I would like also to point out that these corporations, you know, who are very progressive, I mean, Starbucks, they have places in the Middle East where they have walls separating the men from the women. Their logo in the Middle East is different, in order to avoid showing the face of a woman, right? So it is very interesting, because this is why I really dislike the rainbow capitalism. Like, I understand if a business sells a product. I don't have a problem if they're selling in the Middle East and they have to adjust for the situation there. That's fine. You know, it's their culture. Like, why would an American start lecturing people from another country how to live their lives? Doesn't make any sense. But what's interesting, though, is that while they're making money, and it's understandable, they also try to bullshit to you that they have morality, which they don't, right? Like, they're a company, they're there to make money, and this is why people are so fed up, and they're rolling their eyes, and they're sighing. It's because you have, like, these corporations that you know are probably ran by individuals who are more morally corrupt and decadent than you are, but they have the audacity to tell you how to live their life. And they also set bad precedents. I mean, the idea that a non-customer should be treated as a customer is ridiculous. They probably lost a lot of money because they most likely found out that their customers, which, like, who buys that expensive shit coffee? Corporate individuals, right? Like upper middle class twats. Well, the upper middle class twats, you know, they say they champion diversity and they like it, but they don't like to see the diversity next to them. What I mean is, like, if it's someone from their class, like another, let's say, a black individual, which is also from the corporate environment, they're fine with that. But if they see a homeless person, which sticks a needle up their arm, they don't want to go there, right? So they don't enjoy seeing the riffraff. They like to talk that they care about the riffraff, but they don't like sitting next to the riffraff. And they probably lost a lot of customers due to that as well. But it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.